Yo folkens, MaXsa her, og velkommen til en ny Fortnite reaktionsvideo. Først og fremmest vil jeg sige stort tillykke til Mini-Jo, som har vundet et random skin for itemshoppen. Stort tillykke til dig. I dag vil jeg lave endnu en giveaway på et skin for itemshoppen. For at deltage i den her giveaway her, så skal I altså for det første like videoen. Som nummer 2, smid en kommentar nedenunder med, hvorfor I skal vinde den her. Som nummer 3, så skal I selvfølgelig gå ind og bruge min support creator code Twitch_MaXsa33. Som nummer 4, skal I subscribe til min YouTube kanal. Og som det aller sidste, så skal I følge min Instagram, og der er link i beskrivelsen. Ellers er det René_Bertelsen. I skal gøre de ting, og så får I muligheden for at vinde et skin fra itemshoppen. Og så skal det lige hurtigt siges, at I blandt andet kan få sådan en fed t-shirt eller mange andre fede ting til træning, kosttilskud, proteinpulver, alle mulige fede ting. Der er link i beskrivelsen til MyProtein, hvor I kan spare 37% med min rabatkode MaXsaMP og bruge linket i beskrivelsen. Så skete det endelig. Mit nye merch, Big Banana merch, er lanceret. I kan få den i t-shirt i hvid og sort, i hættetrøje i hvid og sort. Plus I kan få jeres eget navn på ryggen med 33, hvis det er noget I gerne vil have. Det kan findes på www.maxsa.dk. Ellers er der link i beskrivelsen. Hashtag reklame for mig selv. Endnu en gang tusind tak til alle dem, der køber mit merch. Vi har altså videoen her med 15 ting, som var fjernet fra Fortnite. Så spændende. Så kun gamle Fortnite-spillere vil kun huske det her. Let's go.
Number 15. Stretched resolution. Stretched resolution was something a lot of pro players used in order to try and get better at the game. It was basically where you could change the look of your game on the screen and players would make it really stretch so you could actually become more accurate because players are wider and easier to hit.
Spillede I med stretch, så smid lige en kommentar nedenunder.
Stretch resolution without actually bringing it back would be an FOV slider. I mean, Epic has remained insistent that they will never add one to the game.
Jeg ved godt, man kan spille med stretch stadigvæk.
Pissed off about, especially pro players. If you don't know, an FOV slider would be a setting that lets players change their field of view.
Det kunne være mega fedt. Det kan jeg huske, de gjorde det i Battlefield. Det var mega fedt.
It's really just people wanting to be able to see more, and Epic said in a blog post after banning stretch resolution in tournaments that they seek to avoid optional settings which provide players with a significant gameplay advantage. So the chances of us seeing an FOV slider or stretch res again are little to none. And to be honest, probably for the better because watching Twitch during those days was awful because of how terrible the gameplay looked. Number 14, the Dynamo Trap. You might not have heard of the Dynamo Trap unless you were playing Battle Royale from literally day one.
Jeg kan ikke engang huske den der, for jeg begyndte i season 2. Jeg spillede beta, men der var den ikke der.
It was in the game between day one of Battle Royale and December of 2017, so around 3 months. It was just a shock trap, but it was one of the earliest items that a lot of people forget was ever in the game. Being real, it probably shouldn't be added back because we technically got a reboot with the Zapper Trap, and I'd rather have that back instead. Although it's cool to look back on stuff like this and wonder what could return for season 2. Number 13, the Cybertron. Do you guys remember the Cybertron? This beast was pretty much a sniper rifle in Fortnite, and you could only find it in supply drops. The Cybertron was extremely hard to find, and it was around as rare as the mythic goldfish is in Chapter 2. Although Epic vaulted the Cybertron in the very next patch right after it was added into the game, making it even more rare than it already was. Finding footage of people using the gun is harder than others because of how lucky you had to be to get it in the first place. Epic made the Cybertron extremely overpowered because of how rare it was, and that's also the reason that they ended up vaulting it. On Twitter they said, "We have disabled the Cybertron. We feel like it doesn't fit well in the current state of Battle Royale. This is something we may revisit." Well, they never did revisit, but I'd really like to see some sort of overpowered weapon come back that all fans want to get. I feel like the loot pool is so boring in Fortnite lately, and having one item that all players want could really spice things up. Just as long as it's balanced, of course. Obviously, MaXsa or the Infinity Blade wasn't a good idea, so who knows? Number 12, the Old Storm. This feature isn't as big of a deal, but there was an old storm design in Fortnite which we don't see anymore. If you play the game now and go up to the storm edge, you'll notice that the big wall is light blue with bars and random squares, which is still a pretty cool design. Except back in the early days of Chapter 1, there was an old storm design which looked pretty different. First, the storm looks darker when you're inside of it, and it had a much bigger glow. Instead of lines, it also had hexagons and was a lot darker blue. So it was pretty different, but honestly, I can't say I miss it. Number 11, directional jump pad.
kanter der. Nummer 11 her
was the directional jump pad. These weren't around for too long, but they were pretty much just an orange version of the bouncer, which could only send you in the direction you were facing. It wouldn't throw you in the air, just forwards, which honestly isn't a bad idea, and I don't know the reason why it ended up getting removed. Honestly, I wish this was in the game, because as good as the bouncers are, you could do some amazing plays with the old jump pad. Imagine if you got given like the same effects as the shockwaves, where it could launch you into builds. That'd be pretty cool. Number 10, the storm tracker. This next item is a bit unique because it was never even supposed to be in the game. I'm talking about the Eye of the Storm tracker item. It was essentially this backpack item, which you could find in Fortnite for one day, and when you picked it up, you would get like a yellow circle on your map telling you exactly where the final storm circle was going to be. This was obviously going to change the meta up massively and be a huge advantage to pros who want to set up camp and build forts in the final circle. Because of how much this would shake up the meta, it's safe to say it was just an experiment. That's also kind of proven by the fact that Epic didn't even mean to add this item into the game in the first place. No joke, an Epic Games employee was spotted saying in Discord that the Eye of the Storm was not intended to be in the game as it was quote-unquote not fully ready. Although as we know, they never added it again after that, so who knows what would have happened if the Storm Tracker was added into the meta. Probably not for the best. If you play the game for the half an hour this item was inside of it, and you got the backpack, consider yourself extremely lucky. Number 9, turbo building. When turbo building was added in Season 3, all of us absolutely loved it.
Ja, vi blev vanvittige til at bygge, fordi MIF han var vanvittig
massively. It's a really important element of Fortnite, but in Season 10, Epic randomly decided to nerf turbo building for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They changed the amount of time it takes to place each build from 0.05 seconds to 0.15 seconds, and while that doesn't sound like a lot, it absolutely destroyed some players' strategies. If you get used to how long it takes to place a build, then it changes, you're gonna struggle with it. Epic said the nerf was to help higher ping players, but in all honesty, that tiny little change just made the game devastating for pro players in Season 10. I'm not kidding, just a few hours after the update with the nerf dropped, hashtag revert turbo building was trending number 2 worldwide on Twitter. Number 8, the tactical SMG. The original tactical submachine gun was used so much in Chapter 1 in the early seasons before it was just vaulted. It was a part of one of the main metas during Season 2, Season 1, something like that. It's really hard to remember because there ended up being another tactical submachine gun that replaced it later on. I gotta say, the two guns, whether it's the original SMG or the tactical SMG, they're both very good guns. I'm not really sure why Epic decided to remove the first one and replace it with something that's pretty close in the second one, but who knows. We did end up seeing the new tactical SMG come back in Season 10, and that was only for a month or two, and to be honest, everyone loved it. Number 7, friendly fire.
Friendly fire, og hvor man kunne skyde på sine enemies, eller på sine teammates. Man kunne dræbe sine teammates der. Jeg kan godt huske det. Man kunne skyde sine teammates der. Det var så dumt.
Well, except not when you're only playing with randoms. When friendly fire was in Fortnite and you joined random squads, you had a pretty good chance of collecting a ton of loot, and then you get taken out by your teammates, who then just steal all your stuff.
Det var også bare douchebag at skyde ens teammates.
Which was one of the main reasons it got removed from the game. Epic apparently got rid of friendly fire purely because of toxicity. Basically, so many people were complaining about getting their stuff stolen that Epic just outright removed friendly fire to solve the problem. I don't blame them. It wasn't that great of a feature, and I think it made the game a lot better, or playable. Number 6, the inventory system. The inventory system has actually had quite a journey ever since Fortnite began, and while it hasn't technically been removed, the old versions of it have. The first version of the inventory was really basic, and if you look at it now, it really looks like an early access game. The menus just look all weird, and the text and stuff doesn't look right in the boxes. The gun images are way too big for the icons and all that. It's just not that great, especially with what we have now. Later down the road, the inventory would show special icons for whenever you equipped your edit tool, basically like little icons of what gun you had in your loadout. It was weird, but at least it let you see where things were more easily. Number 5, the double pump.
Double pump, det var så OP.
This was so fun and yet so annoying at the same time. I still don't know if I want it back or not. Basically, double pump was a strat where you used 2 pump shotguns, one after the other, to annihilate, well, pretty much everybody. It was ridiculous how overpowered it was, so obviously it makes sense that they got rid of it. But so many people use double pump, which is why people ask for it back. But most of us don't really want it because, well, it was broken. And then Fortnite added this shotgun delay for almost every shotgun, shotgun, which was also broken, which led to them to release yet another fix, which only added the delay for when you have 2 shotguns.
Ja,
it's a
mess
of a system, and I'm glad it's gone. But what do you guys think about double pump? Do you want it back or no?
Jeg tror ikke, det vil være smart at tilføje tilbage.
Siphon is probably the most controversial thing Fortnite has ever removed from the game. Like, ever. When they remove something, it's usually a feature that was overpowered, like MaXsa or the Infinity Blade, but Siphon wasn't really harming anyone. In case you didn't know, Siphon is a name for when you get health or shield after eliminating an opponent. It was super helpful and fun in the game, and yet Epic removed it for a few months and then only brought it back in Arena and competitive. They said it made players too aggressive, which I could see why, but at least it's in competitive where it belongs. Number 3, the controversial block. Here's something you definitely didn't know. When the block in Chapter 1 was a thing, Epic would feature the community-made blocks, and one time they added a map made by someone called Fury Leaks. Now, this map was a pretty cool block, but there was a single room which a lot of people found to be very, very controversial. Obviously, Epic didn't see this room that's on screen before adding this block on the map, so they immediately removed it from the game. They said to Polygon that this creator's content was removed from the block because it did not adhere to our content creation guidelines, but aka Logan Paul basically got mad and copyright striked him. Number 2, embarrassing physics. Here's another controversial feature that was removed not because of being overpowered or something that actually bothered people in the game, but in Season 6, Epic decided to give the Calamity skin some questionable physics. No other skin had these, and people began to question why they were added on Twitter. Epic quickly removed it from Fortnite and said that this is unintended, embarrassing, and it was careless for us to let this ship. Whatever your opinion is on whether or not these physics should have stayed in the game, it's pretty weird that they chose to add it and then backtracked so quickly. Someone definitely got fired.
No money, no job.
And our number 1 spot goes to long-range shotgun damage. It wasn't exactly a feature, more of a broken gun, but back during the first Fortnite mares, there was a thing where you could pretty much cross-map people with a pump shotgun. Rather than explain it, which I pretty much already did, I'll show you CD in the third using this broken feature because it's ridiculous.
48.
You so scared.
Hvorfor have en AR, når du skader så meget?
What's up?
Det var jo vanvittigt, det der.
24, I take that.
Det var vanvittigt, det der, dengang det var der. I hvert fald, folkens, jeg håber, I nød den her video. Husk at smash that like, deltag i giveawayen, og husk, at I kan spare 37% med koden MaXsamp, og brug link i beskrivelsen til MyProtein, og I kommer faktisk ind på min top 20 liste ind på MyProtein, så I kan tjekke de produkter ud. I hvert fald, tak fordi I gad at se med, og så ses vi i min næste video. I må have det, som ser ud. Pisse godt. Hej hej. Okay. MaXsa gang, MaXsa gang, MaXsa gang, yeah. MaXsa gang, MaXsa gang, MaXsa gang, yeah. Er vi enige eller hvad? Det er MaXsa gang. Er vi enige eller